This is basic face proportion. What you're going to start off with is a circle. You want to make sure that the circle is big enough to encompass the complete top of your head. The next step is to draw a line down. This line should be long enough to reach from the top of your head to the bottom of your chin. So you can do this by measuring your face with your pencil if you need to, using the picture reference that you have. The next thing you're going to do is take lines and taper them down towards that line. And then you're going to close it off, rounding it on either side. But since we are all different, it's not specifically just a circle, a line down, and then tapering. You have to make sure that you're going back and readjusting what it should look like. That's why I made the top of the head a little bit bigger. The next step is to draw these two lines. These are guidelines that end up being around the bottom half of that circle that you drew initially. And that line will start from the top of your eye to the bottom of your eye. And that's where those two lines should be. The next part is adding the nose. So it is about one eye length down from the center line. And then I draw a couple more reference points for your lip. The top of the lip and the bottom of the lip. I have realized while drawing that I needed to add a little bit more to my chin in order to extend my face. And everyone is different, so these choices and little changes that I'm making throughout this video are just gonna basically end up being choices that you make based on what you actually look like. So now I am drawing my ears. My ears, and most ears, unless they're smaller or larger depending on who you are as a person, start at the bottom of the eye and go to the mouth. That is what it looks like proportionately. So the next thing I am drawing here are my eyes. Your eyes should fit into that little bar that you made for yourself. And when you're drawing, it's a basic almond shape or a pointy oval shape. And your eyes should be placed where on either side you could fit one whole eyeball in between. Here I'm drawing a couple more reference lines as I'm drawing my nose. You can get a more detailed version of how to draw a nose in the next video. But a couple of things to note is that the sides of my nose should end at about the start of my eye. At each corner of my inner eye. That's where it should start. As for my lips, the corners of my lips should end at the center of my eye where my pupil is. So if you bring that line down, and I have a reference image of my proportions on my website for you to look at for that reference image of how and where your lips should lie. Once you're kind of done finishing up the face proportions to make sure everything looks in the right place and it looks similar to what you look like, then you kind of start adding in more of those details. Here I am drawing the top of the head, where my hairline is going to start, which is going to be a little bit lower than the top of my head. So once you kind of get all of these done, then you can start erasing those sketch marks and go in with a little bit more detail and a little bit more understanding of where everything on your face should be placed before you start working on things like hair or specific details. You should have this rough sketch to begin with.